Ladies and gentlemen, Christian Hannah Horror here. We got the Roundtable back for 2020. Hopefully this will be the first of many this year. And today's topic is, I've been requested to talk about this. And I know this is a big debate. And the beauty of this is I have not talked to Tommy. Basically, this is going to be a competition. One of these Halloweens is going to be declared the world's heavyweight champion, right? Because it's three of us, so we can't go easy and just say we like them both. We're going to talk about Halloween H20. We're going to talk about Halloween 2018, the battle of the reboots, and we're going to kick things off with Halloween H20. The way this is going to work, guys, is we're going to talk about our thoughts about the film, then move on to Halloween 2018, and then we're going to pick a winner. So you're going to be able to see each three of us kind of just pick our brains on these movies. So, Tommy, let's start with you. Halloween H20. You were in the prime of your life during this time, right?
Yeah, I actually saw it in theaters. This was actually the first Halloween movie I ever saw all the way through. In 98, I think it came out. At the time, Halloween just didn't really appeal to me. Not that I didn't think it was good, I just never seen it. But I saw this in theaters, and yeah, it's like my first introduction to Michael Myers.
And it's funny for me too, because I remember I was probably 9 or 10 at the time, and my mom, my dad used to work out of town all the time, and my mom would just lay in the bed and watch movies. And I remember this was one of those times where my dad was gone for a while. And I walked in the bedroom, but my mom was just laying there watching. I said, "Mom, what are you watching?" She goes, "Oh, I'm watching Halloween." And I vividly remember my first instance ever with Halloween in general, watching Laurie Strode in Halloween H20 cut off Michael's head. That's when I walked in watching that. And
from H20?
And from H20, my mom's like, "Just get out the room for a little while." I have this weird relationship with H20, Tommy, and I don't know if you were like this as well. My love... I'll just use love-hate for the betterment of... I don't know what other phrase to use because I've never hated H20. It goes up and down over the years. And some of the Halloweens I always feel exactly the same about, but some of them, they go up for me, they go down for me. I'm at a really high point, personally, right now with H20. And part of that is because of the way Halloween 2018 is. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I actually really enjoy H20. I think it's had time to really age. The movie's what, 22 years old now? That's insane, right? Mm-hmm. And rewatching this week, I had a blast watching H20. I like the fact that the music isn't the same as the John Carpenter stuff. It's different. It does feel... There's a famous name for this movie, Howl-O-Scream H20.
I was thinking that myself. I never heard that name, but yeah.
Because Kevin Williamson, who wrote Scream, wrote the script. He wrote the script for H20. Mm-hmm. So there's the characters, they feel the same.
Right.
The same temperament. Everybody's kind of got a chip on their shoulder in this era of movies. And I'm starting to appreciate that era more now. I was very resistant to it because
same.
But I'm starting to really like it. And Halloween H20 now, for me, I really enjoy it. I don't know if it would necessarily be top 5. If it did, it's up there. But I don't have a lot of complaints with H20. I think LL Cool J is absolutely hysterical in the movie. And it's unfortunate because I think LL Cool J did so good that it made Mustafa Akkad say, "Oh, we just got to get another hip hop guy in the movie," and then Busta Rhymes comes in, and I like Busta as a person, great guy, but he couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. So Halloween H20 for me, I love it. I think the final scenes are great. If that series would have ended permanently right there, I think we'll never. And, granted, Halloween Kills and Ends are going to come out, but I think the ending of Laurie cutting off Michael's head at H2 at the end, as of right now, for me, it is the absolute best ending for a Halloween film I've ever seen. And then they actually ended it with John's original score. So, the movie is... I really like Halloween H20.
So similar to Tommy, I saw it in the theater when I was a teenager with a group of friends, and it was good because it was just sort of around the same time Scream came out, and they're both just it was a flavor of the time.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's just a lot of things in the movie. You kind of looking back, it kind of has a little bit of cheese, but that was just the time that they were made in.
So with you guys being more of age during that time period, with me being younger, I'm not trying to say they're old.
Being old.
But what I'm getting at is, always felt a resistance to that era of movies. I guess because I really didn't live it. But you guys were there. Were you down with it? Did you like the stuff, the Kevin Williamson era?
Actually, I enjoyed Scream, but even then, it didn't touch the 80s, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, or, anything like that. I thought those movies were okay, but I still felt like they just didn't compare to those 80s horror movies that I already loved, at that time.
Because would you say it wasn't necessarily a new style of filmmaking? It was just taking, because the late 90s is basically another slasher craze in a sense, right? Would you just say they're just trying to put a little bit more sugar and spice on the characters and stuff?
Yeah, and in a lot of ways it's kind of watered down a little bit, because I know it's rated R, but honestly, the kills aren't super gruesome. I mean, it probably could have got a PG-13 rating, and I mean, I'm not saying that makes a movie good or bad, but it's
more Hollywood.
Exactly,
right? It's more Hollywood because the spirit of the low budget filmmakers that got movies like Madman and for instance, Edge of an Axe, which I just got. These were not done by Paramount Pictures and Miramax, because Miramax was. It's like something becomes really popular, like the groundswell of something nice, and then these people with money, they try to attack it and put money behind it, and it doesn't always just translate well.
Like you can tell it's a group of guys who are like, we need to make a Halloween movie, and they come up with different ideas instead of like one singular vision from from a director or something like that.
But as far as fun movies go, I did enjoy watching Halloween H20 in theater.
That was gonna be my question. And for both of you guys, whoever wants to go first, does your likeness for the movie fluctuate? Because like I said, for me, some Halloweens I like Halloween 6, I'll defend it. I love the movie. I will never say it's the most well-made film, but I love the tonality. I think of the color blue when I watch Halloween 6. I just love that movie. But Halloween H20, I have fluctuated over the years. There are times I've done multiple Halloween rankings. Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high. Right now, it's the highest it's ever been. I really enjoy it. What about you guys? Does this movie fluctuate for likeness?
For me, I won't say it. Maybe not likeness, but more like I just don't really think about it that much. To be honest, I probably haven't thought about it. I haven't watched it in years until this week when I watched it for this roundtable. Yeah. So I guess you could say that that would kind of be the same thing. It's just kind of, it's not a bad movie. It's definitely not the worst Halloween movie. It was a big deal, especially at the time, for Jamie Lee Curtis coming back.
For me, it's better than Rob Zombie's take definitely on it. But it's not as good as the earlier.
I guess we should move on then, right there, right? Yeah. So Halloween 2018. Tommy, you look like you're ready to jump at the bit.
My favorite Halloween movie, period.
Oh my goodness!
I watched it one time when it first came out on Blu-ray, and I don't know what was going on, but I didn't pay much attention to it. Watching it again, I loved it. It was my absolute favorite Halloween movie. There's only one little thing that I thought was kind of ridiculous and unnecessary, and spoiler warning, it's the whole thing with the doctor. I just really felt like there was no need for that.
Sartain, Dr. Sartain.
I just didn't think that was necessary. But besides that, I loved it. Laurie was, because I was thinking about this, you could have taken her out, or you could have taken Michael Myers out, and it could have been a Terminator movie. She was
probably a better Terminator movie.
Right, she was Sarah Connor though, if you think about it. She had experienced this horrible thing and spent her whole life training her daughter to fight back when it was time. It was, and I loved it. It was just an amazing movie.
Well, Tommy, safe to say that the Halloween 2018 score is one of the best scores in the franchise?
Absolutely. I really enjoyed it. It was a really cool take on everything that had been done before, and the first couple of films, and I don't know, everything about this movie I love so much. And so score included.
And I think we got to give a lot of credit to Cody, his son, because you watch some of these clips of them working together. Cody's a virtuoso.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy looks like he's just got the brain. And there's a piece of music in here called "The Shape Hunts Allison," where you hear like this wah against this piece, and the way they did that was take a violin string on the guitar, and they showed this. I'm like, this is ingenuity at its finest. So I think the score is one of the strongest elements. But I'll wait to go last. Kaylin, you and me watched this movie together for the first time, and I gave you my impression of this film honeymoon period, meaning I had saw it in the theaters 3 times, and then I watched it again on Blu-ray. What was your experience? Did it live up to the hype when you finally sat down with me to watch this movie? Was it as good as I was saying it was for you?
Yeah, absolutely. After watching the trailers, I was already really excited to see Halloween 2018. And then I watched it here in the horror room with you, and
which is the best way to watch a movie.
Absolutely.
You know? I
had the tub of popcorn. And it was so good. It had me on the edge of the seat the entire movie. I don't have many bad things to say about 2018. It's going to rank high. And
James Jude Courtney,
we met him.
Me and Kaylin went to Texas Frightmare. Met him. Great guy, Tommy. So I guess I'll go ahead. As I said, I saw the movie 3 times in the theaters. I went once with my wife, once by myself, and then I took my mom, who was terrified in the theater. It was a great theater experience, I have two thoughts on this film. I have my honeymoon period. I sounded a lot like Tommy, really high praise. Watching the movie more and more again, I decrease a little bit, but not in a really negative way. Maybe it's just because, like, to me, it's already like I'm ready to move on. I'm already ready for the next one. I love James in the film. I agree. The Sartain thing, he should have died. In my opinion, he should have died when the bus got derailed by Michael in the beginning. He should have died. I like Laurie in this movie. I do. Jamie, she can act. I mean, there's no bones about it. If James Cameron picks out you to be, in True Lies with Arnold, that means he's got faith in you. So I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis, I think she was the best thing about this film, without a shadow of a doubt. It's interesting because I really don't have too much negative about this film. I really don't. I guess just seeing it often, I wasn't. My honeymoon period wore off, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But when it comes to the music, the score for Halloween 2018 I think it's phenomenal. I'm so excited to see what they do with kills and ends, and I'm really hoping they don't retread anything. I want a brand new score, but to still sound like John Carpenter's Halloween, which, I mean, of course, who better to do it than John? So
something about probably my favorite thing is Michael Myers in this movie. A lot of times with slashers, what you've kind of seen with Michael and Jason, of course, is they're kind of emotionless killers. But in this one, Michael, that was not the case at all. He killed, you saw the rage. When he killed, you saw the rage in everything that he did. And you don't see that a lot with slashers. Not that there's anything wrong with the emotionless, killer, but like when he kills the reporter in the bathroom, I mean, you could just see that he has rage in him, that he just has to kill. Even the kills that he has that are so graphic, it's like it's not just to be like, look what we can do with special effects. It's like he just has a rage inside of him that he can't control, and when it comes out, it's just, it's horrible. And so I thought he did a great job of showing that, to do that without speaking. And I don't know, that's probably my favorite thing about the movie.
That scene in the bathroom stall was brutal.
Yes, it was great. It was great, and I know some people like they say it's actually homaged in a sense to Halloween H20. I wanted to try to be more descriptive about my feelings and thoughts on Halloween 2018, but talking with you guys, there's really not much to complain about. There are people that derail the film.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because I have no idea about the general consensus of the film. Is it something that people seem to enjoy, or they hate it, or is it kind of middle ground? Or
I would call it higher middle ground, but you're always going to have people, and rightfully so. Everybody's got the right to their opinion, especially with these franchises. There's a lot of divisiveness with it, but to me, it seems like it's higher middle ground. But then every now and again you'll see worse than the franchise, and I always kind of question that. Like,
yeah, come on now.
I mean, this film did what it needed to do. It got butts in the seats. It made money. It, for the most part, I feel it's safe to say, it satisfied hardcore Halloween fans of the franchise, while being a great piece for the general public too.
It turned me into a much larger Halloween fan than I was. Like, I've enjoyed the series, but if I had to if I was in the mood for a horror movie, there's very few times that I would have picked a Halloween movie to watch. But I kind of want to go back and watch all of them now because of this movie.
Absolutely. Given our thoughts, and I'm going to
This should be easy.
I'm going to be selfish. I want to go first on this.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to pick which one we prefer, and then we're going to see who comes out the winner. And I'm going to go first on this, and this may be surprising. I love both of these films because, on one hand, 2018, I think, has the much better score. I would say it has the better Michael. But for some reason, especially right now, when I watched Halloween H2O, I fell in love with Laurie Strode's character in this movie so much, and I think I know why. When I watch these movies, H2O, I think that's Jamie Lee Curtis in real life, the way she portrayed the character, and I really appreciated that. Obviously, she is Laurie Strode that is haunted and just a mess in this movie. But there was something about the upbeatness of H2O, and Chris, I think his name is Chris Durand, who was Michael, was great. Was great in Halloween Show. I really liked him in that. The mask issue is just that. It was an issue. It was a mess. I mean, how do we not just have one mask throughout the whole film?
Yeah.
Problems with it, but I really have gained a fondness for that era of movies. So with that being said, and really loving LL Cool J and the way Jamie, in my opinion, brought her own self, truly her, to this movie, I gotta go with H2O, and it's close. It's like this because I love Halloween 2018, but I love H2O right now in this moment in time. I love Halloween H2O, so that's gonna be my pick. So how about this? I want to keep you last because I think I know, but I'm not sure about him. So Kalen, between the two, which one do you?
Let me just start off and say the comparison to Laurie and Sarah Connors is spot on. Christian, I'm gonna have to go with the underdog decision here and agree with you, and I'm gonna say H2O is probably my favorite out of these two. I wish that H2O would have been made maybe with the same score, maybe more modern take on it like 2018 was. If H2O would have been made in 2018, I believe it would have been the better film. I just like the movie Halloween H2O better. Now, not to say that 2018 is fantastic and I'm blown away, but maybe it's just that H2O has been around since I was a teenager. I've seen it, countless times. I don't know. I enjoy maybe H2O. I just wish that maybe it was made in a different time than it was, because kind of the flavor of that Scream era.
Right, exactly.
I think it would have been just as successful, and maybe the thought process the reviews would have been a little bit different if it had the tonality, but it would have been just as successful. I think people were going to see this film regardless. Halloween 2018.
Yeah, H2O is a drink that I felt quenched after I watched it.
Good one.
2018 was so good. I can't wait to see what else becomes of it.
But Tommy, I mean, it sounds like that was surprising.
I guess I'm the lone wolf here. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, 2018. And this is like I said, it's coming from somebody who wasn't the biggest Halloween fan. Part 3 is my second favorite. It was first until I saw
God
2018.
Bless. We got our Halloween 3s right there, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, I'll go with 2018. The only thing, I wish with the Halloween franchise, I wish there was just like it wasn't so like certain movies don't fit into the timeline, and you go from. I wish there was more kind of something to solidify that, but I think it's a good start to something cool that could continue. And I mean, Danny McBride was one of the writers. I mean, we're talking about Kenny Powers wrote a Halloween movie. I mean,
incredible.
You can't beat that. So.
Incredible.
But yeah.
The thing about this, guys, there really is no winner or loser. We're here to say we think both these films are great. How many franchises can you say that there are two favorable reboots? Not two favorite sequels, but two good reboots. I mean, this is ridiculous, Halloween has the strangest timeline.
It really
It's almost
does.
like a Back to the Future. It's like a Back to the Future back and forth timeline. This one's here, then you gotta go. Oh, this is Biff Tannen's got the hotel in this alternate reality now. So it's all over the
question
place.
about H2O: does it exist in the same timeline as 4 and 5, or 4, 5, and 6?
Some can
or-
argue that it can.
Haven't done the research to.
I mean, but if it did, well, that means Lori is a horrible mother because she completely just forgets about Danielle Harris.
that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
You know.
So,
But like I said, I think, Tommy, what it comes down to, too, when picking a winner, it's really what you want more from a movie. I want a really good performance, and while she's fantastic in this movie, I just really like the honesty that I felt from her character in H2O.
yeah, and I
agree.
thought about it. They're both representations of how she could have turned out going through what she went through. Like, you could see somebody going crazy if a guy, this masked killer tries to take them out. You could see somebody going crazy and learning how to shoot guns and turning their house into a trap. Or you could see him kind of, just trying to live their life.
Trying to live.
Right. So, I mean, I thought that was a cool, juxtaposition of, the Laurie Strouds in both of the movies and how they were dealing with everything that had happened.
H2O came out victorious for us, but
Wow.
the answer is yes to both of them. We both think they're great
Halloween
films.
wins.
So, guys, we're going to be back with some more roundtables this year. Tommy was coming up with some great topics that I think you guys would love. There'll be great topics that we can all get involved in with the comment section. So, until next time, please let us know which one you prefer in the comment section below. And we will see you guys later.